Hi, welcome to today's deep dive lessons from the Lean Startup Book Growth. Through customer insight, real growth happens when you understand your customer deeply. One entrepreneur built an app to help people find used furniture nearby. She noticed users often asked sellers if the items were still available. So she added a feature to mark items as sold. That small change reduced user frustration and increased trust. Another team, making a fitness tracker, found that people were motivated by competition. So they added a leaderboard. Engagement jumped. Each insight came from watching user behavior and asking good questions. Growth is not just about marketing, it is about making something that truly fits people's lives. Sustainable growth engines. Growth that lasts must come from repeatable and reliable sources. There are three main engines of growth: sticky, viral, and paid. Sticky means people stay and keep using the product. Viral means users bring others. Paid means spending money on ads to gain users and earning more than you spend. A budgeting app grew through stickiness. Users loved it and used it every day. A photo app grew virally because users invited friends to see their albums. A meal kit service used paid ads and made sure customers kept ordering each week. Knowing which engine powers your idea helps you focus your energy. Focusing on what matters most. Time is limited and focus is essential. It is easy to get distracted by trends, competitors, or endless ideas. But smart teams stay focused on what helps users most. One team had 20 features on their roadmap, but only 3 were highly requested. They paused everything else and built those 3 with great care. User happiness grew. Another group, creating a language learning app, saw that most users dropped out after 5 days. Instead of adding new levels, they worked on improving the first 5 days. Retention doubled. Focus creates quality and avoids spreading too thin. The importance of cohort analysis. Understanding how different groups of users behave over time can show what is really working. This is known as cohort analysis. Instead of looking at total user numbers, you look at groups of users who started using the product at the same time and compare how their behavior changes. For example, a language learning app noticed that users who joined in January were still active after a month, but users from February dropped off after a few days. When they looked deeper, they found the onboarding process had been changed in February, and the new users were confused by the updated design. By comparing cohorts, they fixed the problem quickly. This kind of analysis helps you see patterns that general data might hide. It shows whether improvements are really helping or not. The wisdom of small experiments. Trying big ideas without testing can lead to failure. Small experiments allow you to test risky ideas in a safe way. One food delivery company thought offering breakfast would grow their business. Instead of launching a full menu across the city, they tested breakfast in one small neighborhood with limited items. They learned quickly that demand was low in the mornings and people preferred lunch and dinner. That small experiment saved them from a costly mistake. A clothing brand wanted to test a new design, but instead of producing thousands of units, they offered a pre-order on their website. If they reached a target number of orders, they would produce it. The goal was reached, and they knew the design was wanted before spending on production. Small experiments give clear answers with less risk, empowering teams to make decisions. Innovation grows when teams feel ownership and have the power to act on what they learn. In some companies, only leaders make decisions and teams wait for instructions. In successful startups, everyone is encouraged to test ideas and learn from customers. One design tool company had a rule that any team member could suggest a change and test it with a small group of users. This led to faster improvements and greater engagement from the team. A customer support team in a tech company began experimenting with response templates. They tested different wordings and tracked customer satisfaction. Their version outperformed the original and was adopted across the company. When people feel trusted, they take responsibility and act with purpose. Innovation inside large organizations. Big companies often want to act like startups, but struggle with speed and risk. Innovation inside large organizations is possible when small teams are given freedom. One automobile company created a separate team to work on electric scooters. They worked in a different building, had their own budget, and followed lean principles. By starting small and testing early, the team launched a scooter that gained attention and sales. Another large bank wanted to create a savings app for young people. Instead of using traditional methods, they formed a small team that tested simple prototypes with students. Feedback was fast and helped shape the final version. Creating space for small teams within big systems leads to meaningful progress. Managing uncertainty is the natural state when building something new. There are no clear answers, only guesses. The goal is not to avoid uncertainty, but to manage it with learning. A team creating a tool for photographers thought people wanted editing features, but early users kept asking for easier ways to organize photos. That uncertainty led to testing new directions. After several trials, they created a photo library tool that became popular. Another founder built a career platform, but users kept asking for networking events. He resisted at first, but finally tested one small event, and the response was huge. In uncertain moments, staying open and testing options leads to discovery. Thank you for listening, and please like the video and subscribe for more great upcoming content that will put you in top 1% people in the world.